we've been taking a look at interchanges in America and why they're so tall. Excited to get into this and see this one. We don't have too many in the UK, especially from what I'm looking at right now. I'm pretty sure we don't have anything like this. This is crazy, bro. Really excited to get into this. Before we do, appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. Let's see what we got.
This is the Dallas High 5, one of the tallest highway interchanges in the world. It gets its name from the fact that there are 5 different levels of roadways crossing each other in this one spot.
Bro, I'm lost looking at it, mate.
In some ways, it's kind of atrocious, right? It's this enormous area of land dedicated to a complex spaghetti of concrete and steel, like the worst symbol of our car-obsessed culture.
Yo, I bet there's something like that in the UK. Not that many levels, but I wonder how many levels it goes the most. I've never been on one, but I'd be, you know what I mean? I bet you any money I'd be surprised to find out there's something like that.
But in another way, it
maybe
really
2
is
levels.
an impressive feat of engineering. 37 bridges and more than 700 columns are crammed into this one spot to keep the roughly 500,000 vehicles flowing in every direction each day. They say everything's bigger in Texas, but that's not always true when it comes to engineering projects in the US. The tallest concrete dam is split between Arizona and Nevada.
Insane.
The longest bridge span is in New York.
The
longest road tunnel is in Alaska, and the longest water tunnel, not only in the US, but the whole world, is the Delaware Aqueduct in New York.
Interesting.
The largest hydroelectric plant is the Grand Coulee Dam in Washington, while the
Yo, this is like all the buildings on sci-fi movies, bro. Like it's like we're on a different planet right now.
The Grand Coulee Dam in Washington, while the largest nuclear plant is in Georgia. But one thing that Texas really does do bigger is highway interchanges.
It looks
if you've driven
so cool.
from one major Texas highway onto or over another, you may have been astonished to find yourself and your vehicle well over 100 feet or 30 meters above the ground.
You know what I tried doing there when we seen it all? I tried seeing like the starting point on it. I can't find it. It's literally that confusing.
There's no clearinghouse of data for flyover ramp heights as far as I can find. Plus, there's the complexity of what a...
Wait, okay, so like, where's the starting point? Is the starting point like here? Came from this road onto here, goes around here, then goes off. Is there any switches? Wait, what is this switch here, bro? What is this? Yo.
True height really means, since many interchanges use excavation below grade for the lower level. Still, even the most conservative estimate puts the High 5 taller than the Statue of Liberty from her feet to the top of her head. And if you do a little digging, you'll find that many, if not most, of the tallest highway interchanges in the world are right here in the Lone Star State. Let's talk about why. I'm Grady, and this is Practical Engineering.
Yo, so Texas just have loads of them then. They're known for them. Alright, let's see why.
The idea of a freeway really started in the 1920s with what's now the Autostrada A8 in Italy, an automobile-only road with controlled access. Freeways are separated from local roads with limited ways to get on and off. And if you've driven a vehicle in the past century, the idea of a controlled access freeway is pretty much taken for granted. Smooth curves and limited chances to enter or exit mean more speed and more capacity. But eventually, those big roads intersect other roads, sometimes other big roads, and that creates an obvious challenge. Unlike most roads that cross at the same level on the ground, or as engineers say, at grade, freeways use grade separation at intersections. Roads go over or under one another. No traffic signal.
Yo, look at this, bro. Like, there's so much action, mate. There's so much... There's so many different... I would get lost, bro.
No traffic signals, stopping, or interruptions. Again, this is nothing groundbreaking, but what if you want to turn from one road onto another? Just like that, we've gone from an intersection to an interchange, and this is where things get a lot more complicated, but we have to build up to it. The diamond interchange is probably the simplest way to get grade separation because it kind of half doesn't. Through traffic on the freeway flows right by, in most cases without any need to slow down. But that's not true at the crossroad. Ramps enter and exit the highway at gentle angles and meet the crossroad nearly at right angles. Viewed from above, the ramps form a rough diamond shape, giving the interchange its name. The intersections of the ramps and the crossroad are just that, intersections. They're usually controlled by stop signs or traffic signals. Diamond interchanges can often get away with having just one bridge, a relatively small one carrying the crossroad over the highway. So this can
normally the only difference here in the UK is we normally like, you see this road here, so we would have this, but then we'd have a big roundabout. A lot of ours have a big roundabout here, and then you could go around and then hit your points again. But yeah, we have the main, like on motorways and stuff, we have the main road here, and then we got the diamond thing going off, but then there's a roundabout.
Can be the cheapest and easiest type of interchange to build.
Okay.
But those intersections create limitations on how much traffic it can handle, so it's really only used when the crossroad is a minor one. This kind of interchange is sometimes called a service interchange, in contrast to a system interchange, where two controlled access highways cross. As traffic increases, the only way to increase capacity is to eliminate at-grade intersections. So the largest interchanges implement grade separation for every lane. The classic system interchange is the cloverleaf. 4 ramps form a diamond, usually for the right-hand turn.
Okay.
These are directional ramps. That is, they curve toward the ultimate direction the traveler's trying to go.
Okay.
You exit right and end up driving to the right. The other 4 ramps give the cloverleaf its name. The loop ramps, usually used for left-hand turns, curve around while ascending or descending so they can cross over themselves.
Yo. I know it's a lot simpler when you actually know it and you just drive it. I know it will be. So you don't need to tell me that. But bro, me trying to just look at this now for the first time ever, it is confusing the life out of me, bro.
So you can get traffic flowing in any direction with no at-grade intersections and just one bridge. The loop ramps make the whole thing look like a 4-leaf clover, but finding yourself on this type of interchange doesn't usually feel very lucky.
Oh, it's a pretty good idea. So when you're going down this road, you just sweep on. Down it, okay.
For 1, the loops are often pretty tight, requiring motorists to slow way down. And for 2, there's the weave. Consider traffic entering the highway from one of the loops. In the same place, vehicles are trying to get back up to speed and merge left onto the freeway. Drivers trying to exit the highway are slowing down and moving right. This inevitably creates traffic as people struggle to merge and cross.
I bet you that also creates accidents, no? Dumb drivers.
Paths with one another. Along with suboptimal traffic conditions, cloverleaf interchanges eat up a lot of land. When cloverleafs were at
that actually sounds dangerous. From the cloverleaf, they try to speed up at that point, and then people try to slow down at that point as well.
The height of popularity in the mid-20th century, land was plentiful, and there were fewer cars. But as the volume of traffic increased and the cost of land went up, engineers had to come up with new solutions to build better grade-separated highway crossings, and so they did. Now, there's such a huge variety of freeway interchange designs that it would be impossible to cover them all. The turbine, the windmill, the braided interchange.
Bro, what?
It would be impossible to cover them all. The turbine, the windmill.
Bro, what is going on? There's so many roads.
The braided interchange, the ITL, mixes of various designs and more. Each of these balances the constraints of a project like this in different ways: land requirements, cost, capacity, safety, etc. And the design that generally provides the most capacity on the smallest footprint, often for the highest cost, is the stack. Like the cloverleaf, a stack has 4 directional ramps, usually for the right-hand turns. But
bro, it's just one of those things when you're just looking at it like this, it's just so much information taken at once, it's just overloading my brain, bro.
We move the exit for the left-hand turn off the main highway to avoid the weaving problem and fly them over the middle of the intersection where they meet up with the opposite directional ramp. These ramps are often called flat.
You know what? I bet with America, like, looking at this, I bet the traffic is just so smooth. I know in a lot of places traffic is bad, like you guys have mentioned, but I bet this just makes it so much smoother to drive and just more just freely, you know what I mean?
Flyovers, and it's easy to see why. The gentle curves and elevation changes of the stack mean that drivers can safely maintain speed, whether they're going straight through the interchange or changing direction.
That's good.
The curved ramps often bank to the inside of the curve, called super.
Because now I'm thinking, like, in the UK, when I'm on a main road, bro, and I've got to come off and go to the roundabout and wait on the roundabout, and there's traffic on the roundabout, and then go to my own lane. Instead of that, I could just carry on, say, speed onto one road and carry on. Bro, that's actually a good idea. We should adopt, as confusing this looks, we should adopt it.
Elevation, making it even easier to maintain speed through the turn. This conventional configuration is called a 4-level stack. There's 1 level for the freeway, another for the crossing freeway to pass over, and 2 levels
roundabouts
for the flyovers. It's bridges on bridges, each one providing enough clearance underneath for large trucks. So
I know a lot of people will look at this and be like, this was like a mess. But how many of you guys are thinking the same as me? I actually like the look of it. I know a lot of people won't, and I can see why. But I actually think it looks really cool. Maybe because it's just American, and I find most American things cool, but I don't know. Yeah, it looks cool to me.
Large trucks. So these upper ramps end up pretty high off the ground. 4-level stacks are actually fairly ubiquitous in the US these days. These are impressive structures in their own right, but this is where Texas takes it to another level, literally. And it mostly has to do with feeder or frontage roads.
Right.
Lots of highways use frontage roads running parallel to connect areas alongside that would otherwise be cut off from the roadway network. They allow businesses to develop right up to and facing the freeway with easy access to those coming on and off, basically keeping areas attached to the roadway network. Texas took the idea and ran with it. Apparently, they started as a way to reduce the cost of acquiring land for road projects. If you could promise the landowner access to a new highway along a frontage road, you're making their property more valuable. So they're willing to sell a portion for the highway at a much lower cost.
Look how beautiful
now, Texas has over 6,400 miles or 10,300 kilometers of frontage roads. That's almost the circumference of the moon, and as far as I can tell, way more than any other state in the US. I won't go into the pros and cons of this approach here. Some research has shown pretty conclusively that the money saved on acquisition costs doesn't really make up for their many disadvantages. And Texas has since changed its policy to only include frontage roads on new freeways where necessary and justified. Although from what I can tell, frontage roads
what is even this road? Where's this road even leading? It doesn't look like it's leading anywhere. Yeah, where's this leading? What?
On new freeways where necessary and justified. Although from what I can tell from seeing new construction these days, there don't seem to be many projects where they've been left out. And one major effect of putting frontage roads alongside every highway happens at interchanges, because these are more roads that need great separation from all the others. So at stack interchanges around the state, there aren't just 4 levels, but 5. In fact, this kind of interchange is often referred to as the Texas stack because it's so popular here. In a typical configuration, one freeway goes below grade at the bottom level, the frontage roads sit at grade, the crossing freeway is elevated, then there are 2 layers of flyovers, with a minimum vertical clearance of 16 feet or about 5 meters, plus the thickness of each bridge.
Yo, I could just imagine somebody who's not connected to like Google Maps or something, or maps on your phone, or, you know, sat nav. I can just imagine someone trying to find the McDonald's on the road, bro, and it just going on these different kind of roads, just in a round and round and round and round. They're getting lost, bro.
Vehicles on the highest flyovers are often more than 100 feet or 30 meters above the ground. It's a nice way to get a good look at the city, even if you only get to enjoy the view for a moment. The Dallas High 5 is probably the most famous interchange in Texas with its cool nickname, but it doesn't stand alone.
Oh, I just thought something. Do you know what wouldn't be cool? A bad accident on this. Like, imagine if you're 5 levels up and you go overboard. I know there's like a railing, but like, let's say it was a bad one and you flip over. Yo.
There are quite a few 5-level stacks around the state, and even a couple that qualify as 6-level stacks with flyovers connecting to other highways. My friend Brian, better known as the Texas Highwayman, documents a lot of new construction in Texas, including this replacement of an old cloverleaf crossing with a 5-level stack in San Antonio. These flyovers will be higher than a 12-story building when they're done. The frontage roads for this new interchange use a pretty innovative concept. 4 parts.
Yo, that's insane! 12-story building?
Actual roundabouts morph into one funny-shaped roundabout that's been lovingly nicknamed the Fidget Spinner. Of course, Texas stacks don't only exist in the Lone Star State. The Big I is another famous interchange in Albuquerque, decorated with a tumbleweed snowman each winter. The Judge Harry Pregerson interchange in Los Angeles gets its 5th level, not for frontage roads, but for the high occupancy lane. Plus, it has a railroad, which I always appreciate. Not just because I like trains, but also because it's a reminder that these artfully sculpted ribbons of concrete, carefully woven together, represent a tremendous investment of public money, our money, into a way of getting people from A to B that has a...
Hey, it's not working, bro. We need another stack. We need another level. We got traffic, guys. We need another level.
a lot of downsides. Everyone has different thoughts about what a city should look like, but there's a growing recognition that the way we prioritize motor vehicle traffic in the US may not have been the best path forward. And so I admit that my ideal city has a lot fewer of these towering interchanges that kind of stand as a testament to a transportation network that doesn't necessarily reflect our highest values and aspirations. But I still find them pretty impressive in their own right, and whenever I'm in a new city, I try to plan my driving to hit those tallest ramps at the top of the stack.
Yo, I bet you know, I agree with it, bro. I bet the view at the tallest one of the interchange is like beautiful, bro.
To get a bigger, if momentary, perspective on the built environment. It's always a nice reminder of our capacity for grand designs and ambitious projects.
That is cool.
Even if they might not always be the best solutions.
Interesting video though about the interchanges. Pretty cool. We don't have many of them in the UK, even if we do have any of them. I'm sure we might have some small ones. Something that I never experienced. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.